Hello, hello, hello. I'm Suzana and welcome to your 5-minute success hack, the self-love series. So, in my last recording, I shared an experience where I noticed I was not putting my strong boundaries in place. I actually went against myself and my own intuition of what was happening and allowed someone to stretch my boundary. Even with the amount of work that I had done on myself, I had allowed for this to happen. And it was really uncomfortable for me to face that. But it was beautiful because the work is never completely done. We're always working on ourselves. And what it has helped me do is rethink my boundaries and start to notice that voice inside me, intuition, when something's not right, and honor that. And when I say honor that in capital letters. But it's interesting that that happened to me as during the time that I've been recording these self-love series of your 5-minute success hacks. And interestingly enough, the setting boundaries and the self-love series have had the most, I've received the most responses about them. So I've shared my story. What about you? Let's put some simple practical steps in place if you are someone that feels that you need to develop strong boundaries. So I hope my story helped you, and I hope that this session helps you too. So let's get started. So setting strong boundaries are an absolutely fundamental to self-love. Okay, but how do we set strong boundaries? You might be someone that is a people pleaser. You might be someone that hasn't been taught to say no or to set some strong boundaries. Or you might be someone that was like me, that generally, you have good boundaries, but sometimes you have allowed them to slip for whatever reason. So I'm going to put some simple practical steps in place for you during this session, and I invite you to reply to this email or send me a message about how you're putting them in place in your own life and also how they're working out for you. Okay, so number one, I want you to start to get into the habit of recognizing when it happens. Recognize in what situations you are able to set strong boundaries, and recognize in what situations you let your boundaries slip, or you're not able to say no, or you tend to find it a little bit more difficult to say no. Or sometimes you just kind of say yes at the spur of the moment and then think, oh no, I should have said no to that. So I want you to recognize, number one is recognizing when this happens. What triggers you? What is it? What type of personalities? What type of circumstances? What type of situations may trigger you or may put you in a position where you are giving away your own power? Recognize them. What are the triggers? What are the feelings that come up for you? For some people that I've spoken to, it is a feeling that they feel like, it's a choking feeling. Some people get a real twist and tangle in their solar plexus, in their hearts. Some people, their hearts start to feel like that they are, their heart rate's increasing, and they feel like their heart is thumping in their chest. So it brings on some anxiety. So recognize what is happening. Then recognize the thoughts in your mind. So recognize when it happens, recognize what happens. So what are the triggers when, that put you in a position to give away your power? What are your feelings? What are your bodily sensations? Is it a choking feeling? Is it feels all tangled up? Is it, you find it hard to breathe? What happens to you physically? Then what are the thoughts in your mind saying? Okay. So you might recognize that The thoughts say, well, if I do this, I won't get that. Or there might be thoughts that you feel afraid. You might be feeling afraid of being attacked or feeling afraid of being judged. What are the thoughts? Number 2, write them down. Write them down. Write it all down. Get it on paper, okay? Because you are then allowing it to move out of your body and onto the paper. Now, I want to warn you that this work may not be comfortable. It wasn't comfortable for me, okay? Sometimes it's still not comfortable. It's not comfortable facing ourselves and recognizing where we need to improve, okay, where we are not loving ourselves. But that's okay. Put it out on paper so then it's out of your body. You are expressing it. If you do need some support during this time, find someone in your life that has absolutely your back 100%. It might be your partner, it might be your best friend, it might even be a counselor or a professional or someone at work, okay? Just to give you your support, the support that you need. And then number 3 is a really good strategy for the next time these thoughts and feelings come up. Rather than saying, yes, I'll do that, or allowing your boundaries to be stretched, I want you to put these words in your mind. Let me think about that. So rather than saying yes immediately, or rather than reacting, or rather than, rather than responding in the way that you would normally respond, let me think about that. I want you to write that down now. Let me think about that, and burn that in your mind. Burn it in your subconscious mind. Okay, let me think about that. What let me think about that gives you time, okay? Gives you time to settle down, gives you time to respond, okay? And remember, the first time you set your boundaries, the first few times you say no, it's not going to be comfortable, okay? It's like doing an exercise that you've never done before, or stretching yourself physically. It is not comfortable to start off with. Okay, but that's okay. And this is where your support network or your support person might come in really handy. Okay, so you're going to have to learn to be comfortable with responding in a different way. Write the response that you would want down, how you would like to respond, a more loving response, and then respond in that way. Okay, remember to be gentle with yourself. You will make mistakes, and mistakes are absolutely okay. Love yourself during this process. Be gentle and know that you have got this. Let me know if you have found this 5-minute self-love success hack helpful in setting boundaries.